Okay, so I have a question.
Yes, please ask me your question, Henry.
Okay, my question is that no, we're talking about internship, and then um internship, should you always do an internship that is in line with your, let's say that someone that is in the lab before actually about two, but I have also tech stuff, maybe computer. Are these still one when you all of them, or should you just pick the ones that actually channel to that particular organization that you are writing to? I don't know if you get my question.
You were gone for a while, but I'll just take a leap and say you want to know if you should intern in organizations that are um, in line with your course. Is that what you're saying?
Okay, like you might have done internship in different places, maybe in in the lab and also in a tech facility. And then my question is that, can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Yes, I can hear you.
My
Carry on.
question is that uh, okay, my question is that, so while applying for an internship, you always choose a particular experience that you have gotten, um, maybe those ones you got while science health. So you always make it of that internship, or are you meant to include all the experience that you might have gotten in all ramification?
Yes, by all means, if you are doing a CV, put all the experience you have there because you don't know which experience they might find useful, right? Sometimes people advise that you remove some experience. If, for example, you are applying to a niche field, I don't know what you studied. Let's say if you want to apply for a job that has to do with, let's say, morbid anatomy, for example, and you want to be a morbid anatomist. If, for example, you have experience as a mechanic, that has nothing to do with morbid anatomy, right? However, that also can count as evidence that you have been working before and that you are a good person. You behaved well in that establishment. So there are different ways to tweak what is your work experience, but explain it in such a way that it makes sense, right? So, but if, for example, you want to be a morbid anatomist and you have worked as an ordinary anatomist before, then by all means include that experience. But if you include an experience that is not in line with what you are applying for, then try to explain that experience in a way that it connects with what you're applying for. So as I said, you used to work as a mechanic, right? You used to work as a mechanic. However, you are applying as a morbid anatomist. You can put that work as a mechanic in your CV and explain it in such a way that people can understand that when you were working as a mechanic, you behaved well, you listened to instruction, you worked with a team, you showed evidence that you can work as a team and things of that nature. So, Samuel, I am recording the session. You may not be able to do it from your end, but as I said, this recording will be online on YouTube and everybody can have access to it because we will share the links to you on your email addresses. So without much ado, I would like to call on Alex to start his discussion this evening. Alex, are you there? Hi, Alex. If you're here, you can raise your hand. Let me make you a co-host. Okay, I think our friend is having issues with his connection. Uh, Alex, are you here? Let's just give him a little time. All right. We've had a little connection problem for our speaker today, but I hope he's back on. So he'll be talking within the next 1 hour. I expect him to finish. Um, please have a pen and paper. I have pointed out that I am the one recording. There is nobody else that can record. So I will share the recording with you on YouTube. So Alex, are you here?
Yes, I am. Please, I'm so sorry. My lightning is not so clear. So I know for a good number of the session I would just be blacked out.
Okay, that's
Yeah,
fine.
my lightning is not so good. So okay,
Okay. Do you have a screen to share? If you do, you can do that now. I've made you a
okay.
co-host.
Um, I think I do. Let me
Right.
see.
Right. So have your pen and paper ready. Alex is really loaded. There's a lot he has to share with us. And Alex, you can take it from here.
Okay, so sorry. Can everyone hear me, please? Sorry, can everyone hear me? I'm not so sure
Yes, we can hear you. One way you can
yeah.
look for feedback is tell people to reply on the chats.
Okay, okay. I'm doing full display, so I most likely won't even see their chat, but then it's fine. But and you can please, can everyone see my projection?
Yes, we can see your screen, Alex.
Okay, thank you. So let me first of all apologize for coming late. I was actually thinking it was 7:30, so I was planning for 7:30 as opposed to 7 o'clock, but no issues at all. So since that explained, let me just start by saying that every single position and proposition that I would give in this training today is just going to be for it's just my personal opinion, and I'm not representing my company as the case may be. So that being said, so I'm meant to give a training on crafting a winning student CV. So I know everybody understands what a CV is ordinarily, but I think it's quite important that I just have a brief explanation of that. So a CV is a short account of one's career and qualification prepared typically by an applicant for a position. So emphasis there on short account. So that means that on your CV, you are not expected to give everything about your story life. So let me just turn off this. notification. So that means that on your CV, you are not expected to give everything about your life. All you are just expected to give is just about what you need, what is required of you. Then I think there's another definition there, but I think there's no need of having to go over it. So why a CV, why a good CV is important. So I think that's what I wanted to state there. Why a good CV is important. So the reason why it is important that you take time to craft your CV is because an average recruiter, that's the human resource, takes just 6 seconds to go through your CV. So what they just do is they just pick up your CV, and within 6 seconds to 10 seconds, they've made their judgment as to whether or not they would like to take you for the internship or for the job. So it is quite important that whatever you are doing again, or whatever you are putting on your CV is short, as I stated earlier, and it is specific and carefully tailored to the role. And these points I would expatiate. But before I even go further, so I just want to briefly say that based on the information available online, I've been able to discover that the slim difference between a CV and resume, I may be wrong anyway, but based on what I've seen, is that I realized that a resume is expected to contain your passport photograph, unlike a CV that should not. So you just need to take note of that. And also, if you are being told to upload your resume to a website or to send somebody such, so if they use the word resume as opposed to CV, I'll still advise that you do not send your picture in. And the reason is because of so that you can avoid the case whereby you are being discriminated upon. So it's just best to just send your CV in plain format, which I would discuss more about in front. So another reason why it's good for you to have, or another reason why it is important for you to have a good CV rather, is because such CV provides a summary of your professional and academic life and why you are a good fit for the role. Because before somebody gets to meet you, the first thing that the person, or before you are granted an interview, the first thing that you first be told to do is send your CV. And you don't have the opportunity to tell the person everything about your academic and professional life. But one good thing about your CV is that it gives you that ability to provide the necessary summary that is needed. So as a result of mass unemployment so and numerous applications received by HR, it is quite impossible for the human resource, that's the recruiter, to fall in love with everybody. So you may come and say that you have some skills that you want to show, or you have some value that you want to bring to the firm or to the team, as the case may be. But the human resource doesn't have the abundance of time to go through everybody's application. So what they just do is that they just say, send us your CV. And because your CV is in a bullet point format, they can be able to say, okay, yes, this is what this person is like, and provide a judgment within their head. Then if after your CV and maybe after another additional assessment, they feel that you are a good fit for the role, what they can do is that they will then invite you for an interview and hear in full detail about your personality. So that being said, so how can you draft that winning CV? So this is the basic stuffs I will just discuss about here. Then I will move to the more technical part at the front. So general heading, typically your CV should start with your name. So I created a sample here. So take for instance, if it were my own CV, it will start with something Alex Ifichiko. If you can't see my screen clearly, you can just zoom from your end. And at the same time, I think I would provide this slide to the facilitator at the end of this training. So your name should be what is at the top, and your name should, the font size of your name should be very bold. So if, for instance, the font size you've decided to use all through your CV is font size 12, your name should be about 18, 16, 20 thereabouts, so that it is bold enough. Then, okay. So your name, your address. I'm so sorry if you are hearing my WhatsApp notifications. I don't. Sorry, I think I should just turn that off so that it doesn't just keep giving us issues. Um. Okay. So. mm, okay. So please, if you can't see my screen, I've been able to project back again. Okay. Sorry. Can my screen be seen? Be seen rather.
Yes.
Thank you very much. So, name, address, email, and two phone numbers of different networks, and then your LinkedIn URL. So, I would explain why these are very important. So, of course, your name is your name. They need to know your name, and typically, it's best for you to just use your first name and your surname. So, me that is being Alex Ifechuku. Of course, I will not you go and use my middle name. So, your middle name is personal to you, except of course they tell you to state it. But ordinarily, you should just use your first name and your last name. Then your address. So if you are applying to the Lagos office of a firm, please use the Lagos address. Don't go and be in Nnewi South or Idemili local government of Anambra State, and you are sending an application for internship in a Lagos firm. It is not advisable, because you may be disqualified on that basis, that they will begin to wonder how would this person be able to come to work from this place. And at the same time, you must also ensure that you use an address that is close enough. So if you are not staying in Lagos and you have an internship you want to do in Lagos, it is important for you to try to get locations that are close to that place. And if you can't get, the most closest one would do, because of course you can't kill yourself. So the next thing that comes on board is your email address. Your email address is very important. It should be something good. So not something like sexydiva@gmail.com, or she is fine at yahoo.com. Those are like awkward emails. So just use a very simple email. It could be your name, it could be your first name, your full stop, your surname, your first name and your surname combined. It could be your name and some numbers, because I know that Gmail normally gives some numbers accompanied. That too is fine, but not something that just looks so awkward like sexydiva@gmail.com. So the next thing that follows is your phone number. It is important that you put two phone numbers. In the CV I sent, or in the CV I'm projecting beside, two phone numbers are not there, but it is quite important that you use two phone numbers of different networks. If you have one single network and you use two phone numbers of the same network, then there's no need having to put the two. So the reason you should have two numbers is so that in case village people want to do magic in your life, and for some reasons your network Glo as usual, Glo fails to work, right? You have the alternative of switching to a different network like MTN, Etisalat, and so on and so forth. So then the next thing you should have is your LinkedIn URL. Then after that very brief information that will come at the top, as you've seen at the with the CVI attached there, the next thing that should come is your education. So your education, a brief background of your education, your school, which is typically your university. For me, that comes from Ife. I would put Obafemi Awolowo University. Then the next thing that will come is your program. You put your program. For me, Bachelor of Law if you're in engineering, Bachelor of Engineering, civil engineering. If in your school you use Bachelor of Tech, Bachelor of Technology, civil engineering. If you use science, Bachelor of Science, chemical engineering, and so on and so forth. I'm sure everybody would understand that. So at the same time, also ignore what is stated on this CV beside, where they said expected May 2014. It is important for you to put your start date and your end date. So if you started your undergraduate program in November 2016, it's important for you to put this is the day I started and this is the day I would end. Or you can put this is the day I started and still present. So something like May 2014 dash present, or May 2014 dash May 2023. So something like that works. Then the next thing that should come is your academic standing, and I'll talk more about that. Your relevant courses, the ones that you shine. I don't go and put the one that you do not go and shine inside, in case they begin to ask you some questions. Then the next thing that comes on board is your professional experience. So it depends. So for some people, their awards will come under their education. So if you don't have so many awards, achievements, and competitions, you can just put it under your education section. So for me now, I don't have so many awards, so I just put my awards and recognitions under my education section. So I know my faculty nominated me to take a body of senior advocate exam. So I mean, not everybody is able to write that exam, but the mere fact that I was nominated for that particular exam is an honor, because it's just for some selected set of people within the faculty. So those kind of things are what you should put, things that make you stand out. So if for some reasons you were the best student in law of banking and there's no specific prize for it. But of course, you knew that you were the highest in that course. It is important for you to put that on your CV, because first, you know that you are not lying. If for some reason they call your faculty to verify that, they can be able to verify that. So those things are just things that will make you stand out. And as I said again, your awards should come under your education. That's where you got the awards. If it is in your university, it should follow. If you do not have enough, but if you have enough awards to display, you can just keep it at the end, and I'll talk about that. So then after your university, the next thing that should follow is your secondary school. So some people decide to put their secondary school, some people do not. If you went to a popular secondary school, I think you should put it. So I went to King's College. If you went to such kind of secondary school, you should actually put it with the month and the year you started and the month and the year you ended. If your secondary school is not so popular, you could still put it, and below it you should state what you achieved in your WAEC or NECO, as the case may be. So if you I got 6 distinctions and 3 credits. So I think anything above 5 distinctions. So distinctions are A and B's. Okay. Sorry, someone is. So distinctions are A and B's. So distinctions are A and B's. So if you have such kind of amazing results, you should actually like put it there, so that the end goal of all these things is for you to stand out. Then the next thing that would come after your education is your professional experience. Yes, this is where your internships would come. So you have done some internships, put it there. If you've not done internships, it is understandable. So what you should do is that you should merge your professional and leadership experience together. So you make it professional and leadership. So you are representing your leadership position that you've held in school as your professional experience. So if you've done 1 or 2 internships or 3 or 4, put them. Even if those internships are not specific, because you don't have enough, you have to make use of the little that you have. So if as an engineering student you went to intern at a pharmacy for a while, you should actually put it there. In short, if you even went to go and do sales boy or sales girl, you should put it as intern. It is quite essential for you to do that. Then when you are done with your professional experience, for those who have internships, the next thing that would come on board is your leadership. So the positions you held in school, put it there. 2 or 3 is fine. Anything more than 2 or 3 or more, you're just wasting space, in all honesty. Then the next thing that will come on board is your volunteering. So you will see that in this manner, that is even this CV I attached by the right hand side, you would see it there. So after that, if you have numerous awards, the next thing that will come is your awards in bullet points, as you can see too in this particular CV. And next thing that will come is your skills and your interests, or your courses, and so on and so forth rather. So then the next thing that will come is your referees. So for some reason, there's this debate between putting names of your referees and whether or not you should leave it as available on request. If you ask me, I think it's actually subjective. So you could decide to put available on request, that is fine. But if you have somebody who knows about you, so take for instance, you worked in a popular place and somebody is willing to act as your referee to show that this person is of good attitude, I think it is advantageous for you to put that name there on your CV, because when you do that, there's this edge you give. So take for instance, if the CJN knows me and I worked for him for a while and I'm putting him on my CV, it makes a lot of sense, because anybody who picks my CV will say this guy has some connection to the CGN, and everybody, it's a business at the end of the day, so everybody would want to bring that kind of person to their firm. So that is just the trick involved. So you can decide to put it, you can decide not to put it, but I think ideally you should not put it. But then if you are desperate to get your results and you have somebody of good position that can, and popular position that can stand, it makes a lot of sense. And your referee should be, if you ever want to submit for any reason, it should be one professional and one academic. So it should be a lecturer in your faculty, and then preferably someone that you have worked with. Then for fonts, the fonts you should use on your CV should be Times New Roman, Georgia, and Lucida Bright. So you could just find these fonts on your Microsoft Word. Then your CV should not contain any color, no picture, black and white and text. I'll be doing what did they call this thing? I am at black and white. So the reason was I wanted the picture to come out clearly, but ordinarily your CV should just be white and with those lines and black, nothing more than that, so that anybody who see it can see it easily. And yes, I forgot to add, when you are done working on your CV, because when somebody opens it on their phone or on their laptop somewhere else, if you send it as a Word document, there's that tendency that everything would begin to scatter helter skelter. So it is very important for you to always send it as a PDF, because PDF will keep everything aligned the same way you left from your personal computer. And then alignment. So if you look at the left of this particular CV I attached, everything is straight. If you look at the board, you can be able to achieve that effect. And always ensure that all through you use the same font name. So if you are using Times New Roman, if everything from the beginning to the end of your CV should be Times New Roman. If you are using Georgia and so on and so forth, everything should be that. Then your font size, ideally for your CV, depending on what you want to squeeze in. If you have a lot that is relevant to the role that you want to squeeze in, then you may want to make it font size 8. If you are using Lucida Bright, 8, because I know Lucida Bright, if you don't use it, you may be having some difficulties. So Lucida Bright 8, but for the other ones, Times New Roman, Georgia 11 and 12, please. Then start and end at the same line using your margin and ruler. I think I've said that already. Then use enough time for your CV. I can't emphasize this more than enough. Spend time on your CV. It is your CV. I even advise people that they shouldn't pay people to write their CVs for them, except, of course, they are extremely very busy, or they would ensure that they supervise the CV to and fro. It is very advisable that your CV is written by you. Try and learn how to write it. You can get resources online on YouTube. You can tell somebody like me to help you review. What do you think is not right here? I could just send a voice note. Oh, you should amend this and that. So for me, that is even really good. If I want to like redo my CV again for a different role, I can spend 4 hours at a stretch. I can recall when I was applying to my current place, I wanted to send my CV out that particular evening because it was essential for me to send it that particular evening. Oh no, so I wanted to send it that the following morning by 9 o'clock. Yes, but I knew that I needed to get my CV ready before that following morning, and it was around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I started to work on it, and I was sitting my CV for 4 straight hours. I even forgot that I had not even eaten, but it was important for me to. And this is because I am a pro, yet I spent that much time at a stretch. But for someone like you who is not a pro, it is important for you to spend time. If you use a whole week, I know during the pandemic I used a whole week on my CV. If you use a whole week on your CV 4 hours per day, trust me, it is worth it. So next we go to the technical part. So for the technical part, don't put a profile statement. Well, this is subjective to recruiters. So a profile statement is where, I'm sure you would have seen some CVs where they say, you see something like Alex, the 500 level law student, he has an interest in blah blah blah. He is this that. See, don't write that thing. You're just taking space. So you don't need it honestly. If the person wants such information from you, the person would ask you, or you can include that in your cover letter. There's no point bringing that again to your CV. So, and they know that most people can lie. I mean, if I tell you I have team working skills and emotional intelligence on my CV, how can you verify it? You obviously can't until you hear me talking and interview. Then you may be able to assess and draw some conclusions. And that again makes that particular profile statement meaningless. So quantify your experiences on your CV. So I think I have a sample. So by quantifying you, so I will just go back. I just want to use this yellow something at the top right hand corner. So by quantifying your experience, I mean you like when you want to say what you did on your CV, let it be in quantity. I developed a tracker for 200 people. So put it in numbers. I did this, that for 200 people. I don't know if the copy is in this sample CV. Yes, so if you look at this electoral commissioner, University of Ghana Economic Student Society, so he said chaired a 15-member committee vetting society's executive aspirants. So I successfully led a 3-member, so not I rather, successfully led a 3-member team to conduct blah blah blah, increasing. So quantify those experiences, put it in numbers. So that's why I just wanted to say there. Um, so also put it in percentages, which is what I'll still talk about later on. Then for your CGPA, I strongly advise people, first off, do not convert your CGPA to percentage. I see some people do that shit on LinkedIn. So don't do it. You just it won't work in your favor. Your recruiter is not dumb. Trust me. So don't go and be saying 4.1 over 5 times 100. Okay, this thing looks like 80% over 100. The person will think I'm a smart person. See, don't do that. Just leave it the way it is. So if your CGPA is a first class, please state your CGPA 4 point whatever it is with a first class in bracket. If you use a 6.0 CGPA system, state your CGPA and put your first class in bracket. If you use a 7.0 and so on and so forth, please do that. If you use a 5.0 system like my school does, if and you are above a 4.0, please state your CGPA. Second class upper is not second class upper. So let me even be specific. There's a difference, there's a wide gap difference recruiters look at between 4.2 and 4.3. There's a lot of difference. If they want to take one person at the end of the day, and both of you have them decent CVs and um, did well at the interview, scored about the same points. Just that basis of 4.2, 4.3 maybe what would make them reach their final conclusion. I've even seen cases where I know of this law firm in 2018 that they they had this policy that they just wanted to take the best in a class, and just the difference between 4.71 and 4.58, these were both people within the same first class, but they picked the other person. So, and they didn't even do an interview or anything. That was just their basis. So the point I want to drive home here is that if you are on a 4.0, put it to the last digit, even if it is 4.13, 4.19, 4.26, 4.4, 4.48, put that last digit. Every single thing is important. Then what happens if you are below a 4.0? Very interesting. I would strongly advise that you bring it up to a 4.0. I don't want to deceive you that there are benefits of being above a 4.0. If you are close to getting a first class, please try as much as possible to. But just try, if you have that ability, that chance to move to the next um, level, please just always try to do it. But if you are in your final year and you can't make a 4.0 again, as the case may be, don't worry. It's not a problem, right? You can't kill yourself, right? It is fine. But what I would advise is if you are between a 3.5 and 3.9, don't put your CGPA, just put second class upper. So that place you would most likely rise your class of degree, which should I think come under your program. Yeah, academic standing, it's here. So just put second class upper. So most likely this person may be on a 3.9 or 3.8 or 3.7. So just put second class upper. But if you are above a 4.0, then put your CGPA 4.01 slash 5.00, open a bracket and put second class upper there. Then I think the next thing, if you are on a second class lower and you are in, let's say, your 40 and final year, and you already know that you may not make a second upper again, I'll just advise you that you should put second class upper in view. Now, the reason is so that you are trying to show the recruiter that, see, and don't put your CGPA too. Once you are just write second class upper, but if you are above a 4.0, put second class upper, so that you can at least get the benefits that is second class, depending when you second class upper, or at the end of the day, fine and good. So that's my advice. If you are on a third class, I don't have any advice. So then state courses that you performed excellently and you possibly, if you are close with your lecturers, you may have have that privilege of having, trust me, it's not a position at my standing. It is not a bad thing. Of course, if you are able to keep that information to yourself and to your use. The law of banking, for instance, you were the second out of 54 people in a class. Yes, you can actually put it, because the end goal of all these things is for you to have a CV that makes you stand out. So state courses that you performed excellently in, even if you were not the highest in those courses. So if you had A in energy law, international trade and investment law, put it. If you had high A's like 80, very well, put the 80 and put the A beside it. Then use action words on your CV. So instead of you saying, I, let's say, I charged, or I was vested with the responsibility of doing, just say facilitated. So instead of you saying, I used Excel sheets to do this, or I used that kind of thing. So when you use those action words, it makes a lot of sense. So at the end of this, I think towards the end of my slide, I put some action words there. If you still want more comprehensive list, I have like a very good comprehensive list of action words that you can use on your CV. So let me show you where the action words are. So the action words would be somewhere here. This place that it says something like shared, successfully led, reviewed, gained, assisted, initiated, built. So these are action words, and the good thing about them is that they give your CV this kind of power when you are talking, then, or when it is written on your CV. So the next thing is, do not write what you cannot defend in an interview. Please don't go and say what you do. So I tell people this, right? If a firm is for you, is for you. You don't need to fake yourself into a firm. That's what I would just say. Don't try to lie so that you can get into a place. If a place is for you, you will get it. I believe in this spiritual something. So just do your best. Try to be honest. And while trying to be honest, do not downplay your achievements. So in a way, it's just you trying to find a balance between the two. So don't lie and don't downplay your achievement and your effort. So try to blow it into proportion, but don't overblow it. So just find that balance. Then state competitions that you lost at. Yes, you went for tax debate and you lost. It is fine that you lost, but don't just write, don't feel that because you lost, you cannot write it. It is a big deal that you went for national tax debate, because I know in Nigeria, national tax debate is sponsored by the big four accounting firms. So it's a big deal. If you went for Oxford Price Media Space Smooth, I think that's what they call it. It is a big deal that you went for such. So even if you just participated, participants is fine. So if you were sixth out of 40 people that participated, sixth out of 40 is a lot. You didn't win, you were not winner, first runner up or second runner up, but sixth is a whole lot. And I think it's very important that you state it. But if the competitions are not big competitions, I mean, you obviously know competitions that are big, sponsored by big companies, but if they are not big competitions, you may just allow it slide, right? Better opportunities will come your way. So you should apply for limited industries and tailor your CV. So this thing, I know some people will tell me, this year I applied to 150 firms. I mean, I'm like, what did you do? In a year, I don't think I applied to more than 4 places. Since I joined AFC, I don't think I can count the number of times I've opened my email box to even check if I have an email, let alone apply. So my best advice is for people is that they should apply. Sorry, how many minutes more do I have, please?
Right. Alex, you still have some time. This is
Okay.
7:49. In 10 minutes, you can round up and then we take questions.
Okay. Okay. So you should thank you very much, sir. So apply to limited number of industries and tailor your CV. So if as a person what you want is finance, someone like me now, the only industries that you would see me there are finance, legal industry, and maybe and most likely technology, right? So these are the only 3 places. You must have seen Chevron on my CV. Chevron, I was just fortunate. I just saw a publication. I went for an exam. I saw numerous people. I told myself I'm not going to make it. Eventually, it turned out fine for me. So I didn't know anybody. Nobody in my family even studied law. I don't even have people who did all these big courses. So we are all from the trenches together, gathered here. So apply to limited number of industries. So if what you are going to apply to is finance, it makes your job easy, because once you've drafted a CV for a particular industry, you don't need to amend anything. So take for instance, you are carrying a law and finance CV. You can easily use that same CV to apply to Africa Finance Corporation. You can use it to apply for Afrexim Bank. I what they call for OFID practice area. Your CV today is finance, tomorrow is this one, tomorrow is this one, tomorrow is this one. It will create that difficulty for you as a person. So if all you are applying to is law and finance, like now me, just law and finance, most likely is what you just tailor your CV to the job description. So there's something called a tech savvy or someone that is ensure that in those your that have facilitated a team that did so. Once they have seen that team or chaired a team of clinical, they have seen leadership. So try as much as possible to take the job, and ideally one or two. So by bullet points are things that you did in a place. So which is what is in this particular CV. So just one or two is okay. One or two is okay. Here is two. Here is three. Here is three. One or two is okay. Don't go within five. Nobody sent you assignment. Two is okay. Two, three, two, three. Not even one. Two, three is very fine. So one is only when you no longer have space. You may want to cut one of your internships to reduce the description. Or rather, you may want to go to one of your internships to reduce the description. So the next thing on your CV you should also take note is, while talking about your description, please don't just say or research shareholders agreement in Nigeria. Try to show what you did, who used it, and what was the result, still within that same bullet point. So if these two, so there are these two things highlighted in yellow here. So take for instance, if I were at, let's say, Banwa and Ighodalo law firm now, for instance, right? For the first one, I could say that, and I worked in the litigation team, I could say that I developed a tracker. So that was what I did. Who used it for the litigation team, for monitoring the firm's ongoing court actions, what was the result, which reduced the team's workload by 15%. So that is like a secret. So ensure that whatever thing you are putting to describe what you did in the firm shows what you did, who used it, and what was the result. Every company and institution likes a result-oriented person, and that's why by the time you want to do this no more, your head would want to scatter, and that's why this thing takes a week to do, and it takes a lot of time, and it is time consuming. So if you volunteered somewhere and you're part of people who organize some mental awareness in your school, volunteering, it could be organized a mental health advocacy program. That was what you did, which led to a 90% reduction in suicide rates. That is the result committed by Obafemi Awolowo University students. So just take note of that. Then be concise in your CV. Don't try to wing it. So don't try to say everything I have done in my life, let me go and put it in my CV. No, your CV should be 1 page or 2 pages. If you don't have maybe more than 5 internships or 4, and this thing, just put it on. I know, I think all through last year, I think when I sent my CV to someone, it was just like a page. So sometimes my CV is a page. I just reduce it to the most important things that whoever asks me for it needs, or if I'm going to submit it somewhere, I'm careful to read to know if they want a page. I try and summarize and just take the key parts I need and make my CV into 1 page. So 1 or 2 pages ideally is enough. Then only experiences that are relevant to the role. So if you worked in a finance organization and you did something relating to capital markets and you are applying to the Nigerian Stock Exchange, they want to see that, of course. If you intern at Chevron and you've interned at the Nigerian Stock Exchange and you are applying to Shell, most likely your Nigerian Stock Exchange internship is not needed. Your chef into to tailor your CV to the role. So I mean, then you may be asking yourself that I am talking from a place of abundance. What happens if you don't have a lot? So I'm going to address that subsequently. So don't downplay or exaggerate. I think I've said that earlier. Don't go and start writing on your CV that you led the deployment of a $500 million loan facility. For God's sake, you did not do that. You cannot lead it. You are too junior to be leading a deployment or rather to be leading the deployment of a $500 million facility. Be realistic and say things that you actually did. Again, that is honesty. So create an award section if you have so many awards. If you do not, put in your education. I think I've said that earlier. Then job description, outsmart the AI by using keywords. I have said that. Then again, in your CV, arrange your CV in chronological order from the most recent to the least recent. If you look at this CV, you will see same October 2022 to present, August 2011. So from the most recent to the least recent is what you should be doing. So from the most recent, from 2021 down to 2014, that's what you should be arranging and not the other way around. So I would still make the slides available. Then the next thing I would come on board is check for alignments. I think I've said that. Check for dates, check for margins. Are my margins aligned? Check your date. So it is June 2016 to July 2016 or June 2016 to October 2017 and not June 2016. So month and year dash month and year. Where you want to abbreviate the June to be JUN full stop, let's say June 2016 to February 2017. Ensure you make it JUN full stop 2016 dash FEB full stop 2017. So just for that alignment and neatness. Of course, you can't be disqualified on that basis, but the fact that you pay attention to those sensitive details would improve your chances. Trust me. Then reflect your community involvement and your other interests that you have. So if you have interest in something, your community involvement, everybody wants to see what you are equally doing for the community. So please, it is important that it is very important that you do that. Referees have spoken about that. So proofread till you can recite every line. Please look through your CV. It is your CV. Now you get them. Take the time to go through it over and over again. Sometimes when I'm proofreading my CV, I'm proofreading it in the car or in a bus, as the case may be. So you can look through it anywhere you are. Maybe you're about to start an event. You can just take that 2 minutes to go through it so that you can look at it both when you're in a noisy place and when you're in a quiet place. And you may see some mistakes that you made that you can amend when you get to. So there's Grammarly free. So Grammarly is an add-in. It's a software that you can use to check your grammatical error. I use it, and you can use the paid. I use the paid, but there's a way I subscribe for mine that I subscribe under somebody. So it's like cheaper for me. I think 2,000 naira or 3,000 naira for the whole year. So if you can use the Grammarly, if you can get someone that does that, fine. If you can use the free, both of them would work for you. I know the only good thing about the paid is that the paid enables you to restructure your sentence entirely to look more decent, which is good, but the free would enable you just spot grammatical errors, which again is also good. So depending on the one you can have is fine. So browse it online, Grammarly, and you will get the result you need. Then I think this is my second to the last slide and my major last slide. So pointers, when you are done with drafting your CV, ask yourself this question: does this CV look good? Would an employer want to read my CV? What can I improve from this CV? It is important that you ask yourself this question: what can be bettered? What can be improved? Everybody likes somebody that seeks for feedback. Then give your trusted family and friends to look at your CV. Emphasis on trusted people, please, not people that you give your CV and they'll begin to tell you things that maybe they don't even know even how to work on CV. They begin to tell you shit. So please give people that you trust, and of course people that will not go and use your CV for the wrong thing. Then does your CV fit into 1 or 2 pages? Ask yourself that question. It is very important. So ensure it doesn't exceed 2 pages. 1, 2 is fine. The two CVs are shared on this slide. This one now by the right hand side and that other one, they are both one single pages, and the same effect was achieved. And as I would always tell people, well, for me, if you won't pick me with a 1 page CV, then you most likely not have picked me, even if I give you my 2 pages CV. And even with my 2 pages CV, I don't still put all my internships, right? So even in my one page CV, I think I only put like 3 or 4, and that's all. So ensure that your CV fits into 1 or 2 pages. Then check for grammatical error. I've said that. Check for the font size. Check for your check for chronological order. So these are things that you should do when you are done drafting your CV. Check your email address and your phone number. Village people, they do wonders. So know that when you are done with doing your CV, then you will now go and send, and you will now realize that your email address was actually even wrong, or your phone number. That is too expensive of a mistake to make. Then, or you putting your mother's phone number there. Trust me, people do those. So does your name stand out in black? All the CVs are displayed here is in black. Are your skills highlighted? So the purpose of highlighting your skills like it is down on this particular CV at the right of your screen is for the AI, in case they've incorporated an AI in place. So that AI sees all these keywords and is able to sift your CV to the next stage. Then are your sentences concise and punchy? So if you look at the CV at the right hand side, I think I should be done in 5 minutes, definitely. So if you look at the CV at the right hand side, you'll notice that the sentences are just in 2 lines. As I said, 1 line, 2 line, 1 line, 2 lines, and they are punchy, and I'm sure they answer the question what was done, who used it, and what was the result. Organize reports on Excel sheet to conduct blah 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 blah, and identify targets to help optimize this and that and introduce. So you'd realize that. And please don't be doing and just make it short and concise. Then action words, I promise to give you that. All those are here. I think I still have a more comprehensive. So accomplish instead of completed, you can just use accomplished. Achieved too is another word. So instead of saying involved, you can say participated in. Instead of saying involved in. So all those very very nice words would show good that good sense of judgment and good use of English for you. So special notes. So I think this is the end. This is my last slide anyway. So Nigerians have this very crazy mindset that every single opportunity that they get must be through applications. I've realized that Nigerians like things the hard way. So if they don't apply for an open opportunity, then they never believe that anybody who gets that opportunity is credible. Well, I see it as a foolish mentality because 95% of companies in Nigeria do not publicize their openings. Now, does it mean that everybody in those companies are not eligible? That's a big lie. So, which is why it is essential for you to learn how to use LinkedIn. You have a LinkedIn profile. LinkedIn is free. Go and develop your LinkedIn profile. One thing again about LinkedIn is that the more followers and the more connection you have, the more you are able to reach out to more people. And if you are able to create a good LinkedIn profile, trust me, professionals and big men and women will be willing to give you enough attention. Next, networking. Of course, you can network through LinkedIn, or sometimes some big people would come to speak in your schools. On those days, you should dress very well. Go and talk to them. If you can get their cards, fine. If you get their cards, reach out to them well. If you need an opportunity, let them know. If they spoke at an event, ask question. They need to know you, so that when you go outside to network with them, they're like, yes, it's that boy that asked me a very brilliant question, and those things help you. Volunteer, do community work where people and big people and people that you know would help you are getting involved in such community work. Please, your grades are very important when it comes to recruitment. I'm not even going to lie to you. So I am tempted to feel that it forms 40% of your chances of getting an offer. At least I know in Nigeria, your grades forms 40 to 50%. I don't believe it forms more than 50 anyway, because you have to go through an interview. But for places where you don't even go through an interview, it means that your grade is forming like 60% or 65%. So it is important that you have good grades. If you can move to the next class of degree, try, give it your all, please. Leadership positions, take up leadership positions while in school. So the reason I created these special notes are especially for people who are in first year or second year in this particular training session. So take up leadership positions, but take leadership positions sensibly. It's not every single leadership position that you should take. And I know some people in school are always fond of doing all this and political jagaban shit. Trust me, you don't need all those shit. Just pick like 2 or 3 that you need. Just, okay, before I want to graduate, I should be this, held that. And just once you've had 3 is enough. All through my stay in Ife, I don't think I held more than 3 positions. class rep enough was sufficient problem in my life. So I don't think I was for no reason, like I had made up my mind that for my first year that I was not going for any further thing again because I don't like stress. So what matters the most is the impact you made in those positions, not the positions. And people don't know this thing because when you get to interviews, yes, they are thrilled by the fact that you are a class rep or president, but they want to hear what you did. And if you can show that from with AGS, assistant general secretary, you did a lot of things and you can convince them, you are getting that job, I can assure you. Competitions, you are young. If you are in school, participate in competitions. There are some competitions that even come outside school. Participate in them. Use these things to bulk your CV. Forget the fact that anybody would laugh at you. If you have the space, I wish I participated more, but I was class rep. I didn't have all the time in the world. But if you can, forget the fact that anybody would laugh at you or anything. It is your life. When you die at the end of the day, God forbid, I mean, obviously everybody will die, but it is just important for you to do all these things. I know that it is your life and your CV that you are building, because with these things you improve your chances of reaching out to professionals. Publications, if you're an academic person, if you have some holidays where you are not able to secure an internship, write publications and do internships too at the same time during your break. So this thing is a ladder. I first started from one firm called Kayode Shofola and Associates, and from there I was rising gradually. If you check my LinkedIn profile, you would see that from there I moved to Chevron, from Chevron to Nigerian Stock Exchange, or was it from Chevron to GT Bank? I think from Chevron to GT Bank to Nigerian Stock Exchange, I think to AFC now. I can't even record the other again. But the point I just want to drive at is that this thing is a ladder, and you must understand that it is a ladder. So don't just say, oh, today I want to move to Africa Finance Corporation. I'm not saying it is not possible, but see, it is going to be very hard. But if you can be patient, be prayerful, and do these things that I've told you to do, I can assure you that you will get to anywhere you want to get to within that time. Thank you very much. And I think from here, I would appreciate questions. So you could connect with me on LinkedIn and follow me on Instagram if you have any personal things you want to ask me. But I do appreciate that we use this time to ask questions because I hardly respond to messages. So I just get a lot and I just try to respond to those I can. But I know if you are here, I would definitely respond to your question. So please feel free to ask anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Alex. Well, that went from really optimistic to morbid to threatening all at once. But I know you were being very passionate about something, and I like it. Now, I called you up by 7:15 because in my head, I thought that was the time I gave you, right?
Okay.
I now checked
Yes.
my WhatsApp message to you to realize I've written 7:30 there.
Yeah.
So I'm really sorry. That was my fault. But I thank
Okay.
God that you were right up to the point and you delivered well. So I will have us ask questions in the chat. If you want to also ask him questions via audio, you want to talk to him,
Yes, please.
please raise your hand. We'll quickly call you up. If not, you can drop your messages in the chat. I would like you to have you know that we have students from India and they are not on
Okay.
strike. We have students who are doing their masters in Norway in this call, and a few of them. And I believe your experience is enough for all of them. The principles are the same, whether you're a lawyer or not. At least Alex will talk to you about internships in non-law situations. So he interned with the NSC and he's a lawyer. So that shows you that some of these things are not cut out in stone, right? You don't have to intern in an organization that is immediately doing what you are doing.
Mhm.
So Alex, we have a question from Wisdom. Wisdom, do you want to ask any question? Yes, Wisdom, we are waiting for you.
Hello. Hello.
Yes, yes.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, yeah. I said thank you for the session. I really appreciate it. My question is, does volunteering play a role in securing internships or jobs?
Okay. Is that's all right?
Yes, that's all.
Okay, that's a very good question. So when I was at Udo Udom and Bello Sage, I had 5 people. We about 30 people or 25 people that interned there. Five came in as a result of volunteering that they did. So they did this ushering stuff, I think, at the MBA conference. And on that basis, the partners of Udo Udoma, you definitely know Udo Udoma is the top law firm, told them that, see, thank you very much for this event. I think they paid them off. And aside paying them off, they also granted them an internship to the firm. So while we were going through the application route, they had already even had their offer before the year even started. So yes, volunteering helps. And as I said, strategic volunteering helps. So if you know that, so take for instance, if I know that Taiwo Oyedele, I think tax leader at PwC, is having an NGO and he's going to be at, let's say, Lagos and Food Bank. So I know that, okay, yes, on this day, if I have the space, I can try to be there. So it is a chance for me to get to know him and put yourself out there. So it's a chance for me to get to know him. It's a chance for me to go and meet him, not just stay at the back. Go and meet him. Good afternoon, sir. My name is this, that, that. Tell him your university. If you are from Ife and person is from Ife, awesome. If you are from Nnamdi Azikiwe University and the other person is awesome. So that's why I call this strategic volunteering. So trust me, there's a different approach. If you are coming from Ife and somebody is coming from University of Nigeria and the person who, let's say the big person, right, is from Ife, so they would give you more attention. It's just a psychological thing. So if the person is from, if the big person is from UNN, the person like hosting the volunteering, they would give people from UNN or Eastern schools more attention. It is a psychological thing. So the answer to your question is yes, people can get internship by volunteering. Yes.
I
So
think that
anybody?
that answers this very well. Do you want to say any other thing? Hello?
Me? No, I'm
No. I
done.
mean the person asking the question. Do you want to clarify further?
Okay, no. I got cleared. Thank you very much.
Okay,
I
that's
really
fine.
appreciate it.
We have a couple of questions in the chat. Victor Emeka
Okay.
says, I applied for a Chevron internship 2 months ago and I got an SMS this week that I have been selected to write an aptitude test. Do you have any advice or guidelines?
Okay. Okay, great. So please, I would advise that the person who sends that message, I think is Victor also, just send me a message on LinkedIn. I have a preparation pack for Chevron test. I know I had it, but I wasn't so serious with it because there were so many reasons why I wasn't even serious with my Chevron internship exam. First of all, I wasn't even sure I was even eligible in the first place. So that's why I wasn't so serious with it. But I know subsequent people that got the internship that used the pack I had, it helped them. So yes, I would advise that you reach out to me on LinkedIn and I'll send you the pack I have. So for general advice, ensure that you are in Lagos. If Lagos is your center, your exam center, ensure you are there. I don't know who conducts the exam now, but I know during my time it was Dragnet, and I believe it should still be the same. So Dragnet should be the people conducting the exam. So ensure that you are in the venue on time. I don't think they allow phones. I know that there are people who collect phones, and I think you pay like 15 naira, 100 naira. So you should just like take note of all those. Then just get there on time so that you are not stressed. Then keep on practicing from now. I would send you the practice past question, whatever. Just keep on practicing till that time. Yeah, that's just my advice. Then just pray that thing turns out well. This thing, like, it can go bad for anybody. So I was just fortunate there. In all honesty, I never saw myself working in Chevron or interning there as when I did. It wasn't even in my calendar of plans at all. So it could happen to anybody, and it may just be you. So I don't know if I've answered your question well. Okay,
Right,
I
that
believe I
was
have.
very finely done. Um, Answer this too, Alex. As an intern with no leadership experience, what do you think I can do?
Okay. So, as an intern with no leadership experience, what do you think I can do? So, it depends. Are you in first year? Are you in your exit year? If you are in your first year, it is good that you've realized the gap that is in place. What do? Go and get the leadership experience. If you are in your final years, if you are still in final year and there's still opportunity to get leadership experience, trust me, it's fine. Go and get the leadership experience. But if you are in your first year, you can still rely on the leadership you held in secondary school. But I know everything after first year and middle of second year or more is pointless, because now things are now becoming more competitive. You can't be showing positions you held in secondary school. But I believe that I have been able to answer your question. So it is great that you've realized that you don't have a leadership experience. Go and find a solution to it. So that's what I would just say. And if you are out of school and it's a manner that you can no longer hold leadership position, then go and volunteer. There are so many of them. Amnesty International. Trust me, it would make up for the leadership experience you have, especially when you have a good CGPA.
I think this also will
Yes.
answer the question that comes after that, which is somebody says, I'm a 50-year student and I've not been able to lead organizations, participate in competitions, or even volunteer much because I am a shy person and I didn't network much. So I learned another language. How do you think I can improve my CV at this point?
Thank you very much for that question. So now let me just tell you down here. See, nobody likes a shy person. Nobody likes, if you are a shy person, then you may just as well not apply to anywhere you want to apply to. Just go and stay in your father's house. In all honesty, if I'm to be blunt with you, that is just it. If you are a shy person, you need to leave that comfort zone. Nobody likes people who are shy. For you to work effectively in an organization, you must be bold, because if you are not bold, you would feel intimidated. And if you are feeling intimidated, then you will not be able to deliver well. Take, for instance, if you're even working in the finance space that I am, you will see people who are doing crazier things than you. And it is so easy to get depressed, intimidated, right? Then, more so if you are not even a shy person. So, my advice is, if you are a shy person, first, go and start taking leadership positions that would help reduce your shyness. For someone like me now, when I was growing up, even till now, I used to stammer crazily. But taking up leadership positions as class rep and having to gist with people and speak with people, it built this kind of confidence in me. So that stuttering or stammering has kind of reduced. And most likely you didn't even notice at all until I said it here. So I think my advice for you is, if you are a shy person, try and curb it by pushing yourself out there. Nobody likes a shy person. Your initial issue was that shy people, and you went to go and take another language. So it is you seeing your weakness and running away from your weakness. If you are a shy person, kill that shyness, go and fix your weakness. Because no matter what you do, so long as you are applying to an organization, you need confidence. They like people who can work in teams, who are outspoken and who have leadership. So you need to just find a way to dust off that shyness. And it is a gradual process. When you do one thing, you become more confident. You do another thing, you become more confident. And as time goes on, I'm very sure your shyness will leave you alone. And with that, you can be able to achieve any heights you want to achieve. Thank you. And sorry, and again, by the time you do that, you can be able to improve your CV. So if you are telling yourself that you just want to keep on learning languages without having to push yourself out there to things that would kill your shyness, it is you running away from your weakness. So I think what I would advise you to do is keep applying to places, but still make that intentional effort at killing your shyness by taking up leadership positions and applying to places and participating in competitions that help to kill your shyness. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's be a little more graceful. I would say that
Okay.
if you are shy or if you are an introverted person, it will really help you to realize that nobody really knows everything. You understand this more as you go further in life. The person who looks like they've done so much really also does not know everything. And in the
Yes,
end, we
sir.
are all winging it. Your
Yeah.
professors don't know everything. I teach in a university and I am usually surprised at how much I don't know. And here I'm sitting, I'm even learning a lot from Alex at the moment. So nobody knows everything. There is nobody that knows everything. And that knowledge you have is peculiar to you. That is to say, that the experiences you've had, I did not have them. Let's say you were born in Ibadan, for example, and you went to school in Ilesha Grammar School or something. I didn't do that. Your unique experiences are things that are uniquely yours. And when you talk about it, you own it because there is nobody else like you. So one of the things I realize with Nigerian students is that they're usually so shy. And that is because you underestimate how much you already know.
Yes.
Many of you know more than your counterparts that are taught overseas. And you don't know that because you've never really put yourself out there, right? We do 16 subjects in secondary school. In Nigerian law schools, Nigerian undergraduate law facilities and in many undergraduate schools, we do so many courses. Your level of knowledge is wide. You may not have practical application of it yet, but you know a lot about many things. And when you finally put yourself out there, when you do internships, you see how these things work in the real world, right? So your confidence in yourself is based on the fact that you are a unique person and your experiences are genuinely yours. Then, as a
Yes.
final note, as Alex have said, you can always improve. Be patient with yourself. Even if you are in fifth year, even if you are in 300th year, right? Start from somewhere. Be your hostel leader, for example. Be a person who leads in your family. Whatever it is, just find somewhere to make sure that you show yourself, and little by little, confidence is going to improve, right? I hope that helps you. So, Alex, we have another question. We have so many questions. I thought we'd be able to take a break before we start another session. But as it is, we may just keep going. Let's see if we can take all the questions. I don't know why they have so many questions for you. There are so many of them. But let's see how far we can go. Once we get to 8:26, we may need to stop there. And then you can send your questions to him personally through LinkedIn or send his email or his WhatsApp. I think he'll make out time to answer you. Just say, I came from PFF event. If he does not answer, tell me. I know how to find him. Until he goes to law school, I can still find him. All right. So, Alex, there's this question that says, I really appreciate our facilitator. Okay. I don't have any physical training experience, but I participated in a lot of online learning programs from various learning platforms. Do the certificates matter? What do you think?
Interesting question. I think the certificates matter. So, and I'll tell you why I think it does. So, I have a classmate who is currently interning at MTN. She's in my class. She's one of the bright people in my class. Now, I think her only internship was in Ibadan. That's for going to MTN. And all she had on her LinkedIn was the course is choke. Like, and that just let me know that, as Mr. Sopuru said, right, we are all winging it, we are all trying to learn, and we are all learning. So if you get to an interview and you're able to show, if you are granted that interview and you're able to show that, see, these are the courses I've done, this is what I have learned from the courses, or in your CV, you're able to, let's say you're using half of a page to show the courses you have done, right? And you have a conversation with somebody, because if you don't have enough internship experiences and your CGPA is no good, then trust me, your route is going to be different. You can't be saying you just want to apply, right? You may need to start messaging people directly to have personal conversations for them to help you, and in those personal conversations you can leverage on the courses that you've done. So in answering your question, yes, with your courses alone you can get an internship. Everybody understands that you just want to learn, and they are willing to give you that opportunity. If my classmates can do it, then I know you can too. Thank you.
All right. So, quick one. What do you advise a student who is in final year, has not done any experience, has no leadership roles, and has not volunteered anywhere?
Well, I won't lie to you by telling you, oh, it's an awesome thing, right? It's not an awesome thing, but it's not bad at the same time. So if the person has a good academic standing, again, the person is fortunate, trust me, because maybe some top law firms they would consider that above every others. If the academic standing is not good, then you most likely would have a gap year before your law school. So I think what I would advise you to first do is improve your last grades, because those are going to be some stuff. They only check your final year, what GPAs you made in your final year alone. So you may want to improve that. Then the moment you are done, that your gap year before law school, or that 6 months or 1 year before law school, or two
Let's
years,
assume the
if
person
you are
is
from
not a law
OU
student,
as the case may be.
Alex.
Yeah.
Let's assume they are not
Okay.
law students. Yes.
Okay. If they are not law students, I believe they would still have some gap months. So during that their NYSC year, they could use it to do all these things, because eventually they would need it for maybe the master's application or something if they are engineering students, for instance. But they should just find a way. They should just find a way to do it. They should just find a way. I just believe they just need to find a way to just do all these things. They should go online and search for competitions and try to. I would have said they should create organizations, but I don't think creating an organization is in your final year is the right thing to do with your time. But I just think they should just find a way to. They should just squeeze that time. So they will most likely have months that they can do it. Maybe between the first and second semester, or immediately they are just done with their final exams. They should just find a way to squeeze it.
Right, right. And in PFF, we are looking for volunteers. So you can volunteer with PFF at the moment. We are looking for people to work with us. Like this event now was put on, a large part of it by student volunteers who work with us. Um, Bisola, Samantha, Emeka, many of them. We have a pool of volunteers. We are looking for more. There are other organizations that need volunteer work. Some of them are missionary organizations like the Children Evangelism Ministry, Scripture Union. Some of them will be largely faith-based, right? And then there are non-faith-based volunteer organizations you can follow, like Amnesty International and the rest of them. So by all means, start from somewhere. That is the point of this call. You that is asking this question is the reason for this seminar. We hope that you would be able to use this information he has given you. He has given you a lot between yesterday and today. He has given you a lot. He has told you things from his own personal experience. I don't think anybody that leaves this call has any excuse not to find internships anywhere. And once you start, give yourself time to improve. Wherever you are at the moment, you are not doing badly. Don't be intimidated by
Yes.
students who are doing whatever they are doing. Don't be. You are not doing badly wherever you are now, because I believe everyone on this call is already an undergraduate, at least. You are an undergraduate. The least person on this call is an undergraduate student, and you are doing very well. So from where you are, you can start something. If you are a final year student, if you are in a school that is not on strike, as he explained, you may find that period before you go on NYC important for you to use for this period. For this, if you are not in Nigeria, it's even easier for you to get internships in organizations outside. I've written references for students that are studying in the UK, undergraduate students who are in internships. Everyone is looking for internships, right? So if you are not in Nigeria and you need references, you can contact me. But I'm sure that after your degree, just that few months rather, before your results are compiled, you can use that period for internship experience towards the firm you want to work in. And ladies and gentlemen, I'm so sorry. I see some hands being raised, but this is where we are going to stop today. If I skipped your question, please meet him later and ask him. Send him a message on his LinkedIn. He has dropped a link. You can see it on the screen. If you need any further information from him, please hit him up. I'm sure he will answer you. You can drop us messages after. We have to move to the next session. So I want to thank you, Alex, for teaching us to.
And I would send my slides to you immediately after this so that
Yes, so we'll
when
share the slides with
yes, you
everyone.
can harmonize.
Anything he sends to me, I'll send to every one of you, right? And this is being recorded. So if you missed anything, don't be afraid. You'll find it on YouTube. We'll share the links to the YouTube account. You can watch it at your own time. So thank you, Alex. I have learned a lot myself, and there are things I will use for the future. Maybe not at the level he's talking about it, but I have actually learned a lot. And if I have learned something, you that is listening on this call should have learned more than myself. So with that, we want to thank Alex for volunteering us with this information. We appreciate you so much. And I hope we'll be able to do this next time. I'm sorry I couldn't take all the questions. I'm sorry I skipped some of them. Please send him direct messages. Contact him. He will be able to answer you. Now, with that said, we will take a break, just a few minutes break, and then just stand up, stretch your legs, grab food somewhere, take water from the fridge. If you don't have a fridge, just drink water. Stay hydrated, right? If you want to take something and put in your mouth, do that. We will reconvene in 5 minutes, and then we'll talk about this LinkedIn something. Yesterday, Great was saying use your LinkedIn, use your LinkedIn. Today, Alex is saying use your LinkedIn as well. So somebody is going to talk to us about this LinkedIn experience. And Manny will be, Imani, I call him Manny, his name is actually Emmanuel. He hosted LinkedIn Oyo last week. It was the most talked about event on LinkedIn last week. He's very big on LinkedIn. He works with SendMe. He knows his stuff. I was at the event and he brought in HR people, LinkedIn influencers, people who host spaces on LinkedIn and who have very big names on LinkedIn to speak to us. He himself is a very big name on LinkedIn. I want to learn from him. In fact, that is the reason why I called him, because I want to also figure out this LinkedIn stuff, right? So in 5 minutes, he's coming to talk to us. Please be there. Bisola will anchor the next session. And yes, we'll start in exactly 5 minutes. So by 8:37, make sure you are back and seated with your writing materials. Hello, how are we doing? My co-host will be out in a short time. So, Bisola, are you here?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for my poor video. I'm sure you know Zoom criteria and everything. All right, my name is Bisola Mustafa Precious. I would be hosting us this evening. All right. It's been wonderful learning with you guys, and I've actually been learning a lot, and I hope you guys have been learning too. Okay, I'm not going to take so much time, and in the next 1 hour, we're going to have in our next speaker, as earlier introduced by Mr. Sok. He's an experienced digital marketer, he's a LinkedIn specialist and all. And I would advise everyone to really sit back with your biro, with your writing materials, everything. Just make sure you're paying attention, because tonight you're going to really understand so much about LinkedIn that you don't know. I don't know if Mr. Manuel is ready. Are you ready?
Yes, hi, Mr. Good evening. Can you hear me? Yeah, please. I'm trying to set up the meeting on my system on my phone so I can project, share my screen and all for people to see. So please, you spare me another 2 to 3 minutes, please. Can you spare me another 2 to 3 minutes? Yes.
No problem. So while we wait for Mr. Manuel, I would want us to share like on the method so far from yesterday to today, how you feel you have been helped, and if you have really been enjoying the training. Just on the message page, just type in something. Let's get your feedbacks. Yeah, thank you. I'm yet to get any feedback. Did you guys hear me at all? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. I'm waiting for the feedbacks while we wait for Mr. Emmanuel. Once he comes in, we start immediately.
Right. So I can tell you what I've learned myself. I've learned that I should put myself
All
out
right.
there. Now, of course, we can interpret this message at different levels, but many times we do not know how to package what we have because we are unsure of ourselves, right?
Yeah.
You would have done so much, but you don't know how to tell people you have done so much, and that makes you get less than the respect you deserve. So that is one thing I've learned. I will learn how to properly communicate what I've done or what I've achieved.
Wow. Wow, that's really impressive coming from Mr. So exactly what I wanted to share. The CV part that really got me thinking. He said you shouldn't downplay yourself. Yeah, don't downplay, no matter how little. Even the part he said, even if you have intern, you have worked as a sales boy or as a sales girl, it's still an internship. Like, wow, really? Sales boy, sales girl, internship. Okay, I got the feedback here from Peter Laton. It says, I've learned to pitch for internship placement, even with my skills. No service is wasted. Wow, that's amazing. That's really good. Then Shalomaya is saying, I have learned on creating a winning student CV, have grasped the details of a CV. That's really impressive. Wow, like, it would be a thing of joy and a thing of accomplishment that by after this training, that a handful of everyone that attended is able to produce their own CV. That's one. Then a second testimony is that you're able to secure internship. Like it will just be purpose fulfilled. So I'm seeing another chat here. It said Victor Emeka is saying, on my end so far, I've learned the following. Networking gives you attention. During internships, we should learn to leave a lasting impression, be teachable. Wow. The next one said, I just got the link today and I've learned that I have the responsibility investing in myself, and that's a lot of work and effort goes into crafting a great CV. Wow, wow, that's awesome. I think Mr. Emmanuel is ready. Mr. Emmanuel, are you ready?
Oh yeah, yes, I am ready. I'm ready.
All
Hi.
right.
Hi,
Please sit
Bisola.
back
Good
with
evening.
your writing material as Mr. Emmanuel takes over. Over to you, sir.
All right. Thank you very much, Bisola, and the entire team at Precious Fountain Foundation. Yeah, I'm correct. Yeah. So I really want to know that I have people listening to me. Hi, everyone. My name is Emmanuel. If you are pumped up to get on this session, if you can hear my voice very loud and clear, I'd like you to drop your favorite emoji on the message tab, Your favorite emoji on the chat tab. Oh yeah, see fire. From Matthew Amide. Okay, Teniola Deyemi. Okay, Victor Emeka. This is interesting. I like the activity. All right, so I'll dive in right quickly. I want to apologize first for coming in a bit late. I needed to put in some things in order to serve you guys really very nice content. And aside that too, I came in very shortly. So, and let's just do this very fast. So I basically will be talking about, of course, from the topic itself has been said already, as Bisola has introduced, how to optimize LinkedIn for student internship. How to optimize LinkedIn for student internship. So basically, before I go on, I'd like to reintroduce myself. My name is Emmanuel. I am a seasoned social media strategist, digital marketer, a digital marketing specialist, as well as the convener of LinkedIn Local Oyo, the biggest LinkedIn offline hangouts of professionals in Oyo State, the very first. So without further ado, I'll just dive in quickly to what we have to do. It's going to really sound very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. I promise that, and I hope that you'd follow me through the entire process. So I'll share my screen so you can see what I'm talking about. I actually decided to put up just a very brief slide so that everything I say you could have a tangible representation of it and then follow up on it. So I'll share my screen right away. Okay, give me a moment. Okay. All right. Okay. Please can you give me a moment, please? Sorry, can anybody see my screen? I'm sorry, I'm using the same device to share my screen, so I'm not able to be on the meeting
Yes, I can
page. So you
see
can hear my
screen.
We're talking about optimizing LinkedIn for student internship. But first of all, before we even go to anything that's to do with LinkedIn, I do not know. I want to assume that some of us here are on LinkedIn already. Some of us probably are even already active as though platform would easily get it. So quickly, we're talking about optimizing LinkedIn for student internship. But before we go on to talking about that, we need to know what internship is all about, yeah? So I'll start from the very basic of internship. Now, what's internship? An internship is a short-term work experience that's offered by companies and other organizations for people. Usually, internships are more associated with students, yeah? But we also have entry-level graduates and professionals who also intern for different reasons. Now, why do we intern usually? Why do you go into internship? You see, I would come down a little bit. You know, there's something we call apprenticeship, yeah? Internship is like a more civilized form of apprenticeship. In fact, it's the same thing. It's just that the grammar is different. Internship is the same as apprenticeship. What does an apprentice do usually? For instance, let's use a fashion designer, for instance. Our brothers in the Southeast, when they say they want to learn, they go to somebody who probably is dealing with steps, shoemaking, into dressmaking, different things, and they learn under them. They stay under that tutelage for a period of time, yeah, and then so as to learn the process and become master of their own. Yes, that is apprenticeship. It's the same thing as internship. It's just that internship usually is within a short period of time. As a matter of fact, these days, some apprentices even learn for 3 months or 4 months or 6 months under their ogas or their bosses, and then they graduate. So that same way, internship deals or is brought up to a more professional level. That's why you see a lot of students who are in school going to say they want to intern. Some who probably have graduated, you know, for instance, those who are doing professional courses like medical lab science, medicine and surgery, dentistry, nursing, and all that. They tell you they're going for a year internship, yeah? What do they go to do there? They just go to learn from the experts, those who are already experts in the field. So they learn the process, the practical aspects of the entire course they have read, and then they come out stronger, yes? So that is what internship is all about. Now, the thing here is that internship is more related to students, but these days, or this time around, we have entry-level guys. When I say entry-level guys, they are those guys who just finished school, probably fresh graduates who do not have a lot of experience. So they go to intern so they can gather all the experience they need to forge ahead in their career, the different career and their professional life. Having talked about internship, why LinkedIn? Why do you need LinkedIn? I mean, okay, you could as well just go anywhere and intern. If you walk into a hospital, if you're medically inclined to intern, you could walk into a finance firm to become an accountant intern or a finance intern or whatever. You could even go into a law firm to become a law intern and all those. But then again, in the world where there are a lot of virtual activities and all, you do not want to start carrying your letters and all and moving from office to office or going through the stress of having to look for someone you can intern with. Just by a click, you can land yourself an internship virtually, really virtually, and sometimes even converts to physical internship. A lot of firms out there now even advertise internships on social media platforms. So before I go on to that, I want to say, okay, why LinkedIn? I'm sorry, can anybody hear me? I'm sorry, so this is like I'm talking to myself. Can anybody hear me, please?
I hear you perfectly.
Yes, we can.
All right, perfect. So why LinkedIn? Okay, now the thing is that LinkedIn as a social media platform came way after Facebook is there, after Facebook had come and Instagram and all. So it's not really new, but it's relatively new when comparing to some other social media platforms. LinkedIn has a different vibe put together on that platform. I mean, LinkedIn as it stands right now has over 830 million users. So yeah. And as it stands, is the biggest professional platform. is the biggest professional social media platform. Yeah, you have well over 30 million businesses. I don't want to go into that part, but I think I just need to state this fact that LinkedIn houses the biggest B2B, that's business to business platform, where businesses can teach and grow themselves, where businesses can interact with each other, unlike other social media platforms. It's the biggest of them all. Yeah, unlike Facebook, unlike Twitter, unlike Instagram, unlike Pinterest, unlike TikTok, unlike Snapchat and all. LinkedIn gives a different feel. That's why I see that many people who are on LinkedIn are usually professionals. You will see top business executives, C-suite executives on LinkedIn. You will see top managers, you will see recruiters, you see big brands on LinkedIn. And the kind of content they put out on LinkedIn, if you check properly, if you follow them well, it's not the same as what you will see on Instagram or Facebook. That is because LinkedIn has its positioning of, okay, this is a place for professionalism and it's career-oriented. It's where you don't have to misbehave, you know. Someone you will see on Facebook who will say that his name is it's Lovely Dovey. I mean, like ITZ Lovely Dovey without like it's just like that on Facebook or Instagram. That same person you would find on LinkedIn will never do that. Rather, you see the person's full name correctly spelled. That is the kind of vibe that LinkedIn gives you. So basically, while LinkedIn is a hub for job seekers. A lot of, in fact, that is what one of the biggest things.
Sorry, Mr. Manuel. We can't see your screen.
Yes.
You can't
see my screen?
Yeah.
Oh, I think you stopped recording. Okay, give me a moment. Let's see. Stop screen recording. Give me a minute. Oh, okay, stop before. Can you see my screen now? I think I'm sharing again. Hello?
Yes, your screen is just coming on. It shows that it's loading.
Oh, okay. I think I don't know if it's network or something. Still loading down here.
Yes, it's loading.
Okay, I think I'd have to switch my internet then. See if I can move on to. Sorry, give me a moment. See if I can switch to my internet. All right. Hello.
Hello.
Oh, okay, I'm trying to switch the internet access to see if it gets better.
All right.
Network
Your screen is loading.
network is crazy. Okay.
We can see that it's still loading.
Yeah, I can see it's loading. I don't know why it's taking so long. Sorry, give me a minute. Let me
All right.
see why it's like that.
Okay, Mr. Emmanuel, I think you can continue while it loads. After, you can now share the screen.
Okay. Yes, I think that's what I have to do here at this point. All right, so I'll continue. I'll continue. Maybe when it comes up eventually, then we'll see.
Right.
I'll keep trying it. Yes. So then LinkedIn is, I said earlier, that is a hub for job seekers. a lot of job seekers, in fact, one of the major reasons why people go on LinkedIn is to get a job. Really, that's one of the most famous reasons people go on LinkedIn, just want to get a job. So, and getting a job has become even more difficult over time, such that the supply outweighs the demand. You know that in a place like Nigeria, for instance, we supply way more students from schools. I mean, students that graduate from schools are way more than the jobs that are already take them. So there is a whole lot of pressure on available jobs, which are very small. So basically, a lot of persons want to get jobs. So they want to explore all means to get that job. And many times jobs are not there. And when in this desperation to get these jobs, a lot of persons just want to use any means, any platform that can get them any job. They just jump on it and try to see how much they can make of it. So and we can get jobs. Just jump onto the place and then want to see how they can get jobs. And they get frustrated within a few weeks and then they leave. They just abandon their account and then move on with their lives. That is what it is as well. Oh, I wish I could do this. I don't know what's going on. Okay, so I'm still trying to share my screen, but it's still delaying. Okay, so basically, aside being a site for job hunting or for job seekers, it's a great place for students and young professionals. Really, I happened that today makes exactly a week I organized an offline event called LinkedIn Local Oyo, where people on LinkedIn, connections on LinkedIn come together to meet virtually and network. Now, it might shock you to know that about 60% of those who attended the event are students. And amongst the speakers that came for the event, we have over about 4 or 5 of them who are influencers on LinkedIn. One of them has over 80,000 followers. Another has 50,000, another 30,000 followers, and all that. So one of them is even a student of a particular school in your state. I mean, has a student community of LinkedIn followers. And this is a student. I think it's a nursing student of 200 level or 300 level. And it has so much influence already on that platform. So basically, students are the platform in one way or the other helps students to grow professionally, even while they are still students, even freshers, those in 200 level and up till final year. They leverage the platform to share their stories and they get noticed, they get the audience, and they are there, they're showing up. So that is another thing that LinkedIn does for people. So having said that, I quickly want to ask this question: what is LinkedIn optimization? What do you mean by optimizing your LinkedIn profile? Now, your LinkedIn profile, I must say it's your online representation. You know the way you send in your CVs or resumes to recruiters or to HRs to get a job. You see that resume? That resume represents you, all you know, all you ever have studied, all you ever have worked, and all your experience. And it's a summary of you as a human being based on your experience and skills. That is the same thing that LinkedIn profile does. I mean, these days, a lot of recruiters don't even really pay attention to CVs a lot these days. And that's why some of them will ask you to add your LinkedIn social media profile to your applications. What do they do with it? It's not there. It's not like they just want to ask for it and not use it for anything. They want to check up what you do. Go to your LinkedIn profile, for instance, and see that you're not doing anything there, you're just shabby and all. They merely interpret that your life, or not life now, maybe your person is shabby. So that automatically disqualifies you from the job. and not just a job. Internships too. We have paid internships and unpaid internships. There are companies and firms that offer paid internship. There are those who do not offer paid internships. So basically, either of them would check through your profile to know if you're a serious person, if you're coming in, how much value you add to them, and how you'll be able to move the company forward, even as an intern. Because I've had to see interns become full-fledged staff of a particular firm. In fact, where I work currently, we have a lot of interns, yeah? And the thing is that once they see that you are very enthusiastic about what you're learning, and they see how fast you're able to learn, how much value you're able to add to the company, how many problems you're able to solve, and how you solve them, they wouldn't want to even let go of you. All they just need to do is, okay, your 3 months period of internship is over. Okay, we'll have to renew your contract or sign a contract with you to employ you as a staff. And that is how many people get jobs. I have tons of friends who have gotten their jobs, that means. So that is usually what happens. But then again, to get this, what do you need to do? You need to optimize your LinkedIn profile. Now, when I say optimizing your LinkedIn profile, what does it mean? It means bringing your profile up to speed such that it is on fire. When I say fire, not necessarily fire, but I mean like when people see your LinkedIn profile, when anybody sees it, be it a recruiter, an HR person, or even your audience or your friends, they see a well-packaged person, even if you do not have a lot of experiences, yeah? But what you put up on that platform, on your profile, is so compelling that they want to take a second look. I don't know if you've ever seen people, okay, just, I will share this with us. Just between last Saturday and today, my LinkedIn profile experienced 528 searches. 528 searches. What does that mean? It means that different people from different places, from different fields, have at one point or the other searched me out or clicked on my LinkedIn profile to see what I do. I mean, that's a lot, Now, the thing is that I've seen people that I have friends, I have people, in fact, myself, I'll use myself as an example since I'm the one involved here. I've had to have top executive members of companies check. What LinkedIn does is that when anybody checks your profile, they tell you who viewed your profile, yeah? If they see that the person who's viewing your profile is a top person, they might want to say, okay, you have to get LinkedIn Premium to be able to see who checked it. But the fact is that you see, once you have a compelling profile, you see, you won't get just anyhow, any kind of searches or views of who have in your profile. You will get people who are top-notch, people who are relevant to what you do, people who could add value, who are ready to invest in you. Check your profile. So imagine that your profile is well set and it's beautiful. You would have attracted recruiters or people of value your way. That is one thing that optimizing your LinkedIn profile does to you. But as an intern, as an intending intern, you'd have to make sure that your profile is top-notch. Profile is top-notch. I'm really very sorry, guys, that I have been trying so hard to share my screen, but I do not know what's going on. It keeps loading. Keeps loading. I don't know. But I don't know if anybody can figure or visualize what I'm talking about, like in your head. Can you visualize what I'm talking about? I really appreciate that if you're on this meeting, yeah, since I can't share my screen, could you do something for me? If you're on LinkedIn already, go on LinkedIn and search Emmanuel Anyanwu and then follow me, because I'm using my particular profile as an instance here. So I'll show you what an optimized profile looks like. So if you're on this session and you have access to LinkedIn, just quickly open your LinkedIn profile or your counter and search Emmanuel Anyanwu and then see. I would like to run you through some things that you could do to make your LinkedIn profile optimized so as to be seen by those you want to see them. Hi, can anybody hear me, please?
I can hear you.
All right. So, is anybody on
Okay, I'm on my
LinkedIn?
LinkedIn profile now. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so please, if you're on your LinkedIn profile, let me just know so that I'll know if you're actually following up with this, so we can move on. Just say you're there, or just something, drop something.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, if you do not have a LinkedIn account yet, yeah, we could talk about setting that up later on. But for now, if you have a LinkedIn account, just come there and see. So just type in Emmanuel Anyang. Yeah, you see me there, run basically. Now, I assume that we are there. So I'll quickly continue with this session because I would like to basically cap everything up quickly in another like 5-6 minutes so we can ask questions and get clarifications. So at this point, I would say that on your LinkedIn profile, the first thing that anybody sees, the very first thing anybody sees on your LinkedIn profile is your LinkedIn profile picture and your banner, your profile banner picture, your LinkedIn profile picture and your profile banner picture. So for those of us who are on my profile, you see something, you see my fine picture there. You see my fine picture is rounded. My hands are folded, and just behind my folded hands, you see another rectangular frame there. It's called the banner, LinkedIn banner background. You see me with my system there. You also see that my name is there and what I do. Hello, can anybody hear me, please?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. You see that my profile, my name is there, what I do, social media strategist, and then of course my tagline. I'm a brand of my own. So basically, I help people to strategize on social media and help them get their social media handles optimized and all. So you see, my
So,
taglines, your brands.
Money.
Yes.
Can I share my screen?
Yes, sir. Okay, you can share. Yes, please.
So let me
perfect.
now
Perfect.
share.
Perfect.
So this is the LinkedIn profile of my own LinkedIn profile, right?
Okay, yeah, correct.
You can see it, right? So
you can see it, yeah.
I'm searching myself. So is this an optimized LinkedIn, or rather, let me look for you then. Emmanuel Anyang. Okay, that's you here.
Yes, yes, that's correct.
Okay. So this is it.
Yeah, exactly, that's correct. That's correct. Okay, it's loading. Let's see.
So yes.
All right. Okay, so this is good. This is good. Okay, the banner profile picture is still loading. I think I talked about that already. So one of the first things to do, one of the first things that anybody sees on your profile, on LinkedIn profile should be your picture. I mean, like it has to be a clear, well shot or snapped picture that shows at least about 70% of your portrait. When I say portrait, I mean like from your chest region upwards to your head. So it has to be up close. So you have to, anybody who's, you can't take a picture that is from your head to your toe. Like, I mean like a portrait picture that is long from your head to your toe and then put it on your profile picture on LinkedIn. It's not optimized. I mean, that is not good enough. Get something really close, something clean, something beautiful, and put it up there. Now, if you're not doing anything yet, yes, I mean, like if you don't have a brand like I do, you could also get another picture that's interesting or that aligns with what you do and put it at the background because it won't make any sense. I've seen a lot of people whose profiles are just the profile pictures are missing. Nothing is there. It's just that demo picture where you see this. It's like what they call that again. I can't even remember the name right now. It's something they call it. I can't recall. There's no picture there. It's just the head thing, just the head and all. So, but that anybody who sees that automatically knows that you have not set up your profile. So they just simply want to just move on. So, but then again, imagine you're seeing this and then you see my banner profile and then you see what I do. Okay, that gives a clear idea of what I'm up to. Then the next thing you see is my name. Oh yeah, you see my name. Then just underneath my name, after my name, you will see my headline. What you see is the headline or the header, as the case may be. Some people call it header, some call it headline. It describes what I do professionally. Okay, first thing you see there is convener LinkedIn local Oyo 1. Digital marketing specialist at sendme.ng. Okay, sendme.ng is where I work currently as a digital marketing specialist. And then social media strategies and Facebook ads expert. These are things that I do. Now, one thing we should note is actually this gig, this what I call right now, hacks I'm giving, hacks that people actually really pay for. I mean, like, because I've had to optimize people's LinkedIn profile before, and I charge for it. Like, I charge heavily for it just to optimize their profiles. Yeah. So basically, but I'm doing this on the invitation of Uncle Sop and team. That's Precious Fountain Foundation and team, because I really want to come out here to impact on young people so that we can both grow together and ace this job thing together, get internships, everybody grows and all. It makes it easier. It makes life easier for all of us. So basically at this point, you can see that I would like to ask, okay, I want to really say, I'll ask this as a question. Anybody who answers this is following properly. Now, check my headline. Everything I said about myself on the headline, do you see any peculiarities? Do you see anything of all the roles, of all the things I said? Do you see anything? I mean, what do you think? Probably that's a question I'm asking right now. Maybe once it's time to ask questions or contributions, you could just answer that. I'll leave that. I'll tell us exactly why I asked that question, but I would like to puzzle us a bit and see how much we can see what I'm talking about here to know if there is something with that headline. So please kindly note that and get ready to answer the questions too. Thank you. So basically, after that, you will see a string of hashtags. The hashtags on that place are when you're trying to set up, they ask you things that you're interested, what are you interested in doing, yeah, and that's where the hashtags come in. And the hashtags help people to find you. I mean, like people who are discussing what you're discussing, who are talking about what you're talking about, they easily find you, basically, and then just connect with you, since you guys run the same line of thoughts. So you will see that I talk about LinkedIn, networking, social media, content marketing, and LinkedIn marketing. So anybody who is talking about this will easily find me. Now, next one is, okay, of course, where I work and then where I stay at my school. I finished from Futo and all that. So that's the next thing you see. Now, for the sake of time, I'll quickly move on to, I want to outline 10 steps to optimize your LinkedIn profile. The first one I've explained already is having you make a great profile picture, which I've showed us already. A great profile picture and a banner profile, like a banner picture. Then secondly, you write a clear headline, I just told us about that too. Yeah, convener LinkedIn local Oyo, digital marketing specialist. Yeah, that is a headline. And please, when writing your headline, make sure you separate them clearly. Don't do ambiguous things. Don't do big English. Just say what you do. I mean, it should be clear enough because people don't want to be stressed. They just want to see, oh, this is what this guy does. Okay, this makes sense. I'll follow him, or I think I should follow this guy because he will share value. So make it as clear and as concise as possible. Don't do a lot of lines. Put something simple there. Yeah. So that is the second one. Write a clear headline. Write a clear headline. That's number 2. Number 3, compose a compelling summary. Uncle Sop, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, please go to my summary. Or about. You see my about there.
Is it down? Can you see my screen?
Down. I can see your screen. Yes, keep going. Okay, we're there. About. Yeah, about. So on that part, what you will see is something about me, a short message about me. See, a lot of persons actually make a mistake of putting in packing a lot of things in this about, and it doesn't make sense. Your about has to be a flow of good content. It has to be compelling enough. It doesn't have to be academic, like you're writing a project, you're writing a term paper. No. Make it very interesting. Make it compelling to read. Okay, I said, hi, my name is Emmanuel, and I'm pleased to meet you. As a certified social media strategist with 3+ years of experience in social media and content strategy, I continuously think of and implement ways to help you make the best of social media to achieve your personal and business goals. I'm also a passionate public health enthusiast. And to relax, I simply take a walk in nature, play my guitar, sing with me, just come along. I'm strong and academic and all. Yeah, that's a summary, what it should look like. Something about you that captures everything that you do in a few lines. So that is that. Comparing summary. The fourth one is a customized URL. You may not be able to see that right now, but sincerely, it's okay. It's nice to write a customized URL such that, there's a way when on LinkedIn, naturally, when you sign up, they automatically give you a URL. But your URL is made up of a lot of numbers, different cases, uppercase, lowercase, mixed with letters and what's it called now? Letters and symbols and all. But you know that you can actually customize your LinkedIn URL so that when you share with people, they can easily see it. I mean, like, it just makes sense. Mine is www.linkedin.com/Emmanuel social media strategist. That's what it is. So what I do, my name and what I do reflects in my URL. So that when anybody says, okay, share me your LinkedIn URL, it doesn't look dirty and clumsy. It just looks clean with my name and what I do. So I send it in. So there's a way to do that. Then the next thing you should do is, the fifth one is fill in your education and experience. You don't need to put in your secondary education or anything. Just if you're in school, put in your education there. If you're still ongoing, you put it there. You're not done yet. And then if you have other experiences already while in school, like things you're done, projects you participated in and all, put it in there too. It's very important. Then your skills and endorsements and recommendations. Some of us have skills actually that some of us have soft skills, transferable skills, hard skills. Some of us are in school and we have a lot of skills around other things that are not even related to what we do in school. For instance, if you find somebody who is in fishes and aquaculture, technology, or somebody who is in the biological sciences, but has coding skills, if you have coding skills, you have interest in coding, put it there. Because of course, when you want to apply for internships, for instance, with a firm like Shaw Academy or HubSpot or any other, or Google Academy or something, they're going to be wanting to look at, okay, what experience does this person have already, no matter how small, let's see. So once you apply for that internship, they come to your profile and they see that you already have some knowledge. It helps them to make a quicker decision to take you into the internship. Now, also, we'll talk about endorsement. Endorsements on LinkedIn has to do with, okay, let's assume that I'm in school now, and I've worked on a couple of projects with some persons. So basically what I'll do is, on LinkedIn, I'll meet those people, I'll tell them, could you endorse me for this particular skill? It could be a leadership skill. The person will just go there on your profile and endorse you that, yes, they have worked with you before and that you actually have this skill and you're good at it real time. Another one is recommendation. People write recommendations for people. Just like for those who are graduates and are wanting to get into, get a job or get into further study their education rather, they ask for recommendations. Same thing applies on LinkedIn too. You can ask a friend, somebody you have worked with, to give you a recommendation. They will go to your profile and provide you with a recommendation. Write something nice about you. those things are things that recruiters see. Those things are things that top managers see, that experts see, that interests them and endears them to your profile and to you as a person. So also, if you have ever volunteered anywhere before, share your volunteering experience. Oh yeah. So that is that. So finally, before I wrap up on this, LinkedIn, the biggest thing you can do on LinkedIn, is to show up. Show up and be consistent. Now, the fact is that when you're showing, when I say show up, I don't mean just go on LinkedIn and type long story or type something big and then disappear. No. When you're showing up, it's a two-way thing. You're going to be coming out there and giving out content that adds value. I mean, like valuable content. And at the same time, you're not just pushing your content on people and then asking them to just engage with you. No, you also look out for people whose core interest aligns with yours. People who are doing what you love to do. You engage with them. I mean, when I say engage with them, it's not like when somebody makes a post that you like, you go down and say, this is lovely, or thank you for sharing. No. When you see somebody who makes a post that you like and relate with, what you do is that you own 2 cents. You know, it doesn't have to be completely correct, but drop your own views on that particular topic. When you do that consistently over time, the person whom you have been commenting on, or people who you comment on, you need to ask themselves, who is this guy that's always sharing value or sharing their thoughts on my comment section and all? Before you know it, they take note of you and then they begin to either follow you or respond to your comments. And before you know the content on your own feeds, they will see it and they will engage. That is how you build engagement, by sharing value. And the best way to share value on LinkedIn, as it stands, is via storytelling, a well-crafted, compelling storytelling mechanism. I'm not saying that you go out to LinkedIn and then probably you're walking on the street today and then you missed a step and you fell into the gutter, then you go down and write it. No. I mean, like things that you relate with, things that are cut to what you want to do. Put them out there and make sure that people see them and make it interesting. And people will just naturally follow you and engage with you. But remember that you also do have to engage with other people so as to get their attention as well. So these are ways to optimize. Hello? 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 Hello, can anybody hear me?
Yes, we are still here with you. Carry on.
All right, thank you. So basically, if you can do all these things that I just mentioned, I mean, you could use, it's fine, you could use my profile as a mini guide to help you. But if you can do all these things I just mentioned right now, I'm sure that you are on your way to landing that internship, landing that internship that you crave for, or if it's a job that you want, you're going to be able to eventually So if it's a job that you want, eventually you'll be able to land that job and that gig very easily. So just go on, shoot your shot. If you're interested in content marketing, interested in social media marketing, interested in product management or product designs, interested in coding, web design and development, graphic design, a whole lot of them, kindly just go on and try to apply for those internships. These people, a lot of organizations who are giving them out and apply. But before you do that, please kindly set up your LinkedIn profile and optimize it based on these few steps that I've mentioned. And trust me, in a matter of a very short time, you'll be on your way to getting the best internships ever. Thank you very much for your time.
Wow. Wow, that was really interesting. I didn't even realize it was done. I did not realize it was done. I was thrilled. Like, thank you very much, Mr. Manuel. That was very, very educating. That was very, very educating. So hi everyone. If you can hear me, can you wave or probably drop the feedback? Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? All right. Our time is fast spent. I don't know if you have questions for Mr. Manuel. Do you have questions for Mr. Manuel? You can quickly drop them at the comment section. You can drop your questions and quickly attend to them. We don't have much time. All right, personally, I would review what I've really learned here. One thing I picked from his session was that if you are going to be on LinkedIn, make sure you start and remain consistent. All right. So one of the purpose of this meeting is to make sure not just to attend, to make sure that we put in action. And one of the action now it's what is happening in a LinkedIn account and being consistent is a very good thing that will keep you consistent. So see, I can see questions. I can see questions coming in. Questions. I can see our followers essential. All right, Mr. Manuel, followers are essential. The number of proof.
All right. So, oh yeah, okay. I'll answer that question very briefly. Shortly. Very. It's actually on LinkedIn. Okay. Now, if you're some and you don't have any community or that is what happens. There'll be nobody to communicate with. So you need followers to see what you do. You need followers to see what you do. The first people who see what you do are your followers. Whenever you make any posts or share any content on any social media platform, LinkedIn inclusive, those people who will be the first to see what you do are your followers. So followers are essential, but followers do not necessarily translate into a lot of value because over time, I've seen a lot of people who have thousands, tens of thousands of followers, but then again, they do not really have a lot of engagement. Yeah, so that is it. But followers are essential. You need to work on that. You need them to be able to see what you do. Yes. I don't know if I answered that correctly, or if I answered that satisfactorily.
So Vivian, are you satisfied with the answer? You can unmute and respond. Are you satisfied with his answer? Just but if I remember, people said that the LinkedIn local program said, hey, not just followers and follow back. Am I right, Mr. Yawu? Followers, follow back, follow kind
yes,
of.
You're correct.
Followers.
You're correct. You're correct.
Followers. People that will just be there to be simple. So, right, he said, how can one, this for Emeka, I said, how can one make a banner profile picture? Yeah, wow, I was even about to ask that. So, Mr. Manuel, how can one make a banner profile picture?
Okay, is that one you saw on my profile was the job of graphic design. I am not a graphic designer, but I was able to do that using Canva. I mean, like if you work at around Canva to be to be able. I think Canva has a template for making
I think I can hear you again. I can't hear you again. Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, sorry,
now.
the network threw me out shortly. So I was saying
All
that
right.
basically there's a measurement for that. So if you're not doing by say Canvas, I said earlier, just tell the graphic designer that you want a banner profile for LinkedIn. They know how to get the measurements and all. They do it for you.
Oh, that's perfect. Meka Victor, I hope your questions have been answered or you need more clarity. If you need more, just drop it in a comment section. So a quick one now. Says Shalom Anya is saying here, please, sir, what's the implication of the third that stands beside the name? The third. Did you get the question, sir? Hello? Hello?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I'm here.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So the question is what again? Sorry.
I can hear you.
Okay. So you know, from what you see,
okay,
you saw that, what's it called? You saw that third beside my name when Uncle Sop, who shared the screen recently,
yes,
got on my page, yeah?
yes.
So now, seeing that is with reference to him, not me, it means that first, there are 3 degrees of friends, 3 degrees of friendships or connections. Okay, 3 degrees of connections on LinkedIn, yeah? There's first degree, the second degree, and the third degree. The first degree has to do with somebody that you know, someone you are directly friends with, someone that you know. A second degree friend is somebody who knows somebody that you know. A third degree is somebody who knows somebody that knows somebody that you know. So basically, what it means is that Uncle Sop over there knows somebody that knows me. That is why it's on a third degree connection. Why are you laughing? Hey, Victor. Okay, so that is, LinkedIn could be quite crazy. So, but that's what it is, basically.
Wow.
So it means that I am connected to somebody that knows Uncle Sop, or Uncle Sop is connected to somebody that knows me. And that is what it is. That is why it's third degree.
I think I understand clearly now. I don't know if Shalom, Anya Shalom, do you understand that there are 3 degrees? If I'm correct, say there are various degrees of friendship on LinkedIn. Degree, second degree is another friend that does another friend, then and so on like that. Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Hello?
I can hear you. If it's me you're talking to, I can hear you.
All right. Victor Emeka is saying again, this consistency thing, how do you guys do it? Like, is the way he asked the question for me. How do you guys do it? Having to shuffle within so many different other things and
Okay, I will answer that question. Victor, who loves to share health, who loves to share health tips and to help people understand their bodies better. You could do posts that revolve around health things, like whenever you come up on that platform. And it mustn't be like every day. You could say, okay, I'm going to take out Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays to do posts or to put out content on LinkedIn. But the thing is that you're going to be consistent with your niche or with what you do. It's not like today you write about health issues or body issues. Tomorrow you go and write Forex. So the other day you go and write cryptocurrency. Another time you write about body cream, and you write different things. Like the other day you go and write about trees and forests. I mean, like that's, or another day you now start writing motivational speeches and all that. No, you're just everywhere. Being consistent is doing what you do when you do them and sticking to what you do. You understand? And it doesn't mean that you can't switch. If you like the more is, say, agriculture, you could switch your niche away and then stay true to what you do. That's consistency. Consistency is not showing up 3 times a day for an entire month. No. You can show up 3 times a week or twice a week, but you make sure to show up twice a week of value and that people can easily associate you with. So that's that. I don't know if I answered that question.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Manuel. Victor, I hope your questions have been answered. So I think we have just 2 more questions because of our time. I think Shalom Anya is asking this URL thing. How do you create the LinkedIn URL? To know how it is, and I think everyone has a question. Just
okay. Sorry, can I have a recap of the question if you don't mind?
I hope everyone can hear me. Sorry for that. Network was down, kind of.
Now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Seems like network was bad over there. Okay, so
That's Shalom Anya.
Okay. So I'll do this quickly. If you're on LinkedIn right now, yeah, you can go on your profile. Just immediately after your header, your headline or your header, you'll see, of course, your followers and connections. You'll see open to. You'll see 2 tabs. One will be in blue, open to. The other one is in white. It's plain, add section. Can you see that? Who can see that? Okay, then just beside that, you see, that's if you're mobile, if you're using your phone. Next to the add section, you will see 3 dots. Are you seeing that? Click on that 3 dots. A pop-up will show up. On the pop-up, you will see share profile in the message. You share via, and then you see contact info. Click on contact info. It takes you to a page where you will see your profile, email, and birthday. Under your profile, you will automatically see the URL. So if you want to edit your URL, just click on the pencil button at the top right corner of that page. The first thing you see is your profile URL. So you can change it there.
So let's do it again. Like I'm on my page now. So show me how to go.
Give me a moment. Okay, so I said earlier that what you do is, okay, let's go from here. You're on your page, just underneath where you have, after your headline, there's a name. After your profile picture, there's your name, there's your headline. Then you would see your number of followers. Then you see open to. there are two tabs beside each other. One is in blue, open to.
Yeah.
The other is add section.
So what do I do?
Check beside add section. You see 3 dots.
More.
Okay. Are you using a laptop?
Yeah, I'm sharing my screen. You can just look at your screen. Can't you see it?
Okay, let me see. Alongside another person that is doing it on mobile, so I'll be able to follow up quickly.
Well, can you see my screen?
Okay, yeah. I can see your screen, yes.
Okay. So where do I go?
Okay, so what you do here is, let me see. Check, click on contact.
Contact info.
Contact info. Yes.
Okay, these are the.
You can see your profile there.
Yes.
Yes, yes. But hold on, for people that are using their mobile phones, for those that are using their mobile phones, if you check just beside that add profile section, you see 3 dots. Click on that 3 dots. You see contact. Click on contact. It will take you to the same page where Uncle Sob just saw. So go back to your contact info.
Yes.
Okay. So click on that contact. On that, you have just 2 contact infos here. That's your profile and then your email. So we are talking about the profile URL right now. Click on it. It should load and take you to another page.
It comes back here.
Okay, probably.
Is it this one that says
Hold
edit
on.
profile, public
Check.
profile and URL? Can you see this?
When you, I can't say.
It says here, edit.
Okay, yes, that's it. Edit, yes. On phone version, it won't bring out that edit. It will just show you, take it to a new page where you can do that. But then since you can have it, I can't see your screen very clearly because okay, I can see it now. All right.
You control your profile. I can limit what is shown on search engines.
Yes, so just scroll down. Scroll down. Scroll down. Keep scrolling. Okay, yeah, here you go. Stop. Now, edit custom URL. Click the pencil button. The pencil.
I've done that.
You can type in now what you want to put there. You can type in what you want to put there now. You can see your cursor blinking. You can you can delete and type in what you want.
Right. So I can now do linkedin.com/Christian Sopruch. Right?
Yes, then save. Let's see.
Oh, good.
There you go. So that's how it works.
Okay.
I'm sorry, those that are using mobile phones, have they gotten it?
Okay, Gary. Bye.
All right, good. Yeah, Victor, I can see you're following up. So have you been able to get it? So I think that answers the question, yeah? Oh, great then, great. So I think that's it.
Wow. Shalom, my hope. Yeah, glad. And thank you, Victor. Victor have sent a write-up on the question section, on the comment section about the practice on your own. Victor has sent that. Thank you very much, Victor. Then the last question is, how do I add hashtags to my post that he can't see it on his headline? said, how can one include the hashtags after signing in and how? Because I can't see that. I don't have that on my. You get the question? Hello.
Money, can you hear the question? Right. I think he's having network issues. Or am I?
Yes. Please, I can hear you perfectly well.
Okay. I think he's having issues with his network. So I think many of these questions can be taken care of if you go on Google, right, on YouTube. If it's questions that have to do with things that have to do with LinkedIn,
Yes.
you will find YouTube really useful. But if it's no more in this call, you can now summarize our conversation and do the announcements. And I think we can call it a night from here.
Right. I think that's the very last question and we are done. Yeah. I would say these 2 days have been really educated, meeting new people from the WhatsApp page and all. And I must confess, I just hope the meeting can go on, but of course we all have to go and sleep. That's so nice. So as Mr. Sopa said earlier, we always hold a monthly seminar at PFF. And for those that are in the group already, immediately after this meeting, the flyer for next month's seminar will be sent down, including the Telegram link, is on success, academic success, critical success. So one of the things you can do to really push action for yourself is to set goals, achievable goals for yourself. Make sure that you're actually doing something, not you wasting this time and not you spending this much time and data, and at the end of the day you have nothing to show for it. So I would want you to follow us on Facebook, type in your search box, search out for Precious Fountain Foundation. On Instagram you found Precious Fountain Foundation, on Twitter at Precious Fountain at PFF Nigeria. It would be nice to connect with you because we want to see you succeed and all. So I think tonight has really been awesome. It has been a long time. And with that, I would say congratulations to each and every one of us, because I know that we've added knowledge to ourselves. And this way, we have gotten the boldness. We have been commissioned into the internship work. So the next thing now is to start crushing internship goals. And it was glad being here this evening. Thank you, Mr. Asop, for the opportunity to come up here to moderate. I remain Mr. Fabiola Precious. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Good night.
Good night, Bisola. You'll find this recording on YouTube and we'll send it to your emails. Bye-bye.